Okay, this is a very heavy, uncomfortable video. It will be discussing rape, sexual violence, sexual abuse, and sadism. If you have a history or experience of being a victim of any of these things that I just mentioned, it's okay to scroll past this video. Now, for those who don't know, my background is not just in media literacy, but it's also in social psychology. It's probably why it takes me a minute to contribute to conversations that have been circulating for a little bit with videos like this. When it's appropriate, I prefer to break down what we are witnessing in a psychological perspective that makes it easy for people to understand what we're dealing with. Because at the end of the day, it's important to remember that while we are dealing with a physical type of warfare, genocide, with Israel, we are also experiencing psychological warfare on multiple levels. I'm going to talk about the sadism of Israeli society. Now, there is sadism and sexual sadism. We're going to talk about the existence of Israel as a sadistic entity as a whole, but we're also going to talk about the sexual sadism that we are seeing from the Israeli military. Sadism is the tendency to derive pleasure from sometimes sexual gratification, but not exclusively that, inflicting pain, suffering, violence, or humiliation onto someone else. We see this in the checkpoints that are set up randomly all throughout occupied Palestine, the West Bank, that are set up specifically to humiliate and dehumanize Palestinians. We see this in the joy that Israeli society has publicly expressed from them viewing the bombing of Palestinians in Gaza and the forced starvation of Palestinians in Gaza. Some examples of that are when Israelis set up viewing parties on the border of Gaza, where they will get their friends together on couches with popcorn and ergila and laugh and have fun while they watch bombs rain down on 2 million civilians. Another example of that is when we see Israelis setting up picnics and carnivals in front of aid trucks, blocking them from being able to provide aid to Palestinians who are being forced to starve to death. We also see it in the social media content that comes from just everyday Israelis. Israeli society as a whole operates off of the dehumanization and humiliation of Palestinians, and Israelis as a whole have made it very, very clear that they enjoy it. That is the very definition of sadism. Now, sexual sadism is different, and I'm pretty sure that that's what we've been witnessing when we look at content coming out of the Israeli military. People with sexual sadism disorder have trouble functioning normally in society because of their behavior. They oftentimes take their sexually sadistic actions to an extreme point that causes severe bodily harm to someone or death. Their actions involve non-consenting counterparts, and in order to be diagnosed with this disorder, these conditions have to be presented for a span of at least 6 months. And given that we are 6 months into this genocide on Gaza, I feel like it's an appropriate time to make this video. We see things like this present throughout the Israeli military because of how excitedly their soldiers post videos and photos of them wearing lingerie of Palestinian women that they've recently murdered. Israeli soldiers find so much joy and sexual pleasure in the sexual humiliation of Palestinian women that they have gone so far as to use images of them amongst the lingerie of women that they have just murdered as dating profiles. And we know that this brings them joy and sexual gratification, because to use an image like that as a dating profile photo means that you find so much joy and normalcy in that that you believe it will cause someone else to develop sexual attraction to you. I'm going to show you a video, and it's actually the video that prompted me to make this one today, but it is extremely violent. It is extremely uncomfortable. So if you have to watch this next part on mute or fast forward through it, that's okay.
We fucked many Palestinian bitches. I used to fuck Palestinian bitches in the army. They suck cock really good. They like it up the ass because they virgins. They like it up the ass. Only up the ass. Well, I'm a virgin. I'm a virgin. Come, Palestinian.
We have seen countless videos from Israelis, both old, from the very creation of the State of Israel in 1948 to today, that have bragged about the rape that they have committed against Palestinian women, men, and children. I've showed this clip before, and I'm going to show it again because it's relevant here. It is from a documentary called Tentura, and it is scenes of elderly former Jewish terrorist group members bragging proudly about the rape that happened to Palestinian women during the Nakba, some of whom were as young as 16.
תפס אישה, חתיכה צעירה, נכנס לבית אחד, הכין חדר מיטות, מיטה, פרטה לזיין אותה.
הילדה חזרה סמרטוטיה.
אחד אנס שם איזה ילדה בת 16, משהו כזה, אתה מבין? אבל זה מכוער מאוד, היה לנו בחור אחד, הוא נפטר, פה היה פרא אדם, הוא לקח פשוט מאוד.
It is also something that they brag about and threaten us with in the future.
I will fuck you all. I will fuck your daughters. I will fuck your mothers. We're gonna stomp on Palestinian bitches in Israel. Every Palestinian bitch should know. If you're gonna see me, I'm gonna stomp on your head. Why? Because we don't give a fuck anymore. We don't give a fuck anymore about you motherfuckers. We don't give a fuck about you motherfuckers. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Every Palestinian bitch gonna get fucked. Up the ass. Up the ass.
We also see this in the videos and photos that are being released by Israeli soldiers through their Telegram channels or social media channels, where they have stripped Palestinian men and boys down to their underwear, blindfolded them, zip-tied them, and joyously take selfies and videos of them or with them in a sexually explicit state. When acted on with non-consenting partners, sexual sadism is a crime. And we know for the last 76 years that Palestinians are non-consenting partners. It's important to recognize that psychologists and really the American psychology industry as a whole believes that the crimes of those with sexual sadism disorder will continue and likely worsen until the sadist is apprehended. I'm not really sure how you end a video like this, so I'm just going to reiterate that Israel cannot exist.